Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Charles Rivera, and we'll be talking about track and field today. What is track and field? Track and field is an athletic contest based on skill of running, jumping, and throwing. It takes place on an oval running track with 6 lanes enclosed around a grassy field. Track and field also has running, cross country, XC running, and race walking included. Events range from high speed sprints to long distance running. Also field events such as javelin, shot put, discus, and long/triple jump. There are 3 seasons in track and field: cross country, indoor, and outdoor track. This is a representation of what a typical track field looks like. As you can see, there's pole vault, shot put, javelin, discus throws, and high jump. That's the grassy part of the area. Also long and triple jump at the bottom. That's the area where all the field events are hosted and are usually conducted during other races. As you see the oval track field, there's 6 lanes in total. Little tip: if you want to run faster, you stay in lane 1. If you want to run longer, stay in lane 6. And let's see, each side of the track field is 100 meters, and the turns are, I guess, another 100 meters too, because one lap around a track field is 400 meters. And let's move on. Events. We're going to talk about the events in track and field right now. As you see from the picture from the right, you can see a representation of them in a way in all the different types. Top is all sprinting and regular running. Second row is hurdle, steeplechase, long jump, and then you got relays, and you got the field events on the bottom. Now, I basically spoke about the events. Now, we're going to talk about sprints right now. Sprinting events consist of 100 meters, 200 meters, 400 meters. Middle distance is 800 and 1500 meters. Those were my events when I ran track. Also, long distance, 3,000 meter steeplechase, 5,000 meter, and 10,000 meter. 3,000 meters, I believe, is 12 laps. Steeplechase is 8. 5,000 meters is 12, and 10K is 25. 10,000 meters. 110 hurdles, or 100 meter hurdles, or 400 meter hurdles. It's basically like hurdles spread around the whole. For 400 meter hurdles are spread around the whole track field, and the track stars are going to be running from start line around the whole track field while there's hurdles in their way at a high speed. Also, relays like 4x1, 4x4. 4x1s are very exciting to watch because 4x1s are very fast paced, and it has to be almost perfect to conduct a 4x1. 4x4 is just like same thing, but then in a little longer distance, everyone has to run at least one lap. And before they run the lap, they have to hand off the baton to each other. Jumping events. Now, everyone also thinks that track and field is just for running, but there's also field events as I showed you before in the previous diagram. So there's jumping events like the long jump, high jump, triple jump, and pole vault. And those are the kind of events that you really have to be agile and also be able to jump far and hide. And throwing events, discus, shot put, and javelin, and also hammer throw. So with these, you just have to have great strength, great muscle memory and such, and be able to throw far with these. Now we're going to talk about Usain Bolt. Now many know Usain Bolt because of his success in his career in the Olympics and on the track field when it's not Olympics, other kind of events and such. And I have one of his quotes right down here in the picture. Sometimes we must make do with little we have. Now, he's all-time great sprinter, Olympic champion. With that Olympic champion status, he has 8-time Olympic gold medalist. Holds world records for the 100 meter, 200 meter, and 4x100 meter relay, as we discussed before about the relays. Um, his nickname is also Lightning Bolt, and you can tell he's Jamaican and such, so he runs for the Jamaican team. And I put the bomb follow, the bomb follow in the bomb. That one because when he's running his competition, you can see he's actually smiling because he's having a good time with his event and he knows he's gonna win. Unfortunately, he retired recently after the 2017 World Championships. Integrated knowledge and ideas. For this, I want my students to research another famous track athlete or Olympian of their choosing, and I want them to learn more about the certain athlete of their choosing and the events that they perform in or do. So they could be in Justin Gatlin, they could be in Felix and such. Anyone they want to look up, they could bring to me or discuss as a class or in a group together. Now we're going to get into an activity that I used to do when I was on a team. It's called jog to turn, sprint to straightaways. You can also vice versa switch them around if you want to. So students will be able to jog the turns and sprint the straightaways. Students will be in groups and will jog at an easy pace. When students come up to a turn, they will sprint till they hit the straightaway. So I don't know if you remember from the diagram I showed before the turns. I want them to sprint those turns, and until they hit 300-meter mark, they could start jogging again until the next mark, which is 200-meter mark, where they sprint again around that turn, and then they jog down to the next 200-meter mark, the next mark, which is the starting line. So basically, it builds up distance and speed at the same time. Once at the straightaway, students will go back to an easy jog until I would explain that, and I will want my students to complete a mile within this activity. Now, we're also going to do some relay training activity today. Students will be able to complete a 4x400 relay. Students will be split up into groups of 4, which is usually a relay. How many people you need in a relay? Each team will have a baton. A baton is what you see in the pitch over there in the middle, what they're handing off to each other. That's how you go hand off the baton to the next person, and so they could do their running for their team. And once that's passed off, students will line up and do a simple mile jog around the track field. During that jog, they will be passing the baton to each other. Now, this is be like a fun activity, mini activity for them to complete, because for them to get get the hand of it off, hand off the baton to each other. So when it comes to the actual relay, they know how to successfully hand it off to the next person. The person in front will always have the baton until the runner from the back of the line sprints to the front to receive the handoff. This will go on until the mile finishes, and finally students will complete an 4x4 100-meter relay. Comprehension and collaboration. I want students to speak about their experience about running, sprinting in the relays, and also about track or what else they know about. Just generally like a group thing for students to complete with each other, to get to know each other more, share ideas or viewpoints and such. And pretty much just discuss about sprinting and relays for today's lesson. In the end, of course, I want my students to do a KWL chart for what they know about track, what they want to learn in future track and field lessons, and what they did learn from today's lesson on sprinting and such. Students will complete a KWL chart, yes. And thank you for listening to me and things I had to say about track and field and my lesson plans and such. So enjoy your day.